What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack some of the newest teams and characters that have come into the game, but as well what to be on the lookout for now that we know with certainty that these teams are coming likely in 2024. We're going to see a lot more, obviously. By the end of the day, we're going to be going through everything that's been confirmed, so that way you guys have a great overview as of March 2024. So having said that, as you guys can see on screen here, the leader is part of the new Cabal team. Their introduction has already been added into the game. They're going to be a top tier Crucible team, but I do want to talk about that because at the end of the day, some of these characters and teams may or may not be needed for legendary teams, and we'll go over that more specifically here. So will Cabal, they're known to be a top tier Crucible offense team, right? They're going to be getting a brand new season actually coming up tomorrow, just featuring them and giving them specific bonuses and so forth. Now, when they were first originally teased, there was actually a line in the blog post where it was disclosed that they're going to be required for a legendary, and then they actually redacted it, saying that it was actually a mistake there. So it tells us that there's a possibility, anyways, a pretty good possibility, that they're not required for the next legendary, which is confirmed to be needing the out of time team. However, the one following that, it could very well be likely that Cabal might be needed. So just something to be mindful of. We don't have to build them just yet, but so far the three members that you can build this three-piece is Leader, Iron Patriot, and Namor, and their kits look absolutely fantastic after the reworks. They're going to be an offensive juggernaut in Crucible. Next up, we got the new Spider Society raid skill team, the first of its kind, having dual traits, confirmed and already added into the game is Penny Parker. We got Pav, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Gwen, and as well Spider-Man Noir. So all of them actually already been officially revised and so forth, but I do like to talk about this in case you guys missed this fact. But yeah, they're all in the game now, and it looks like their infusion's coming in the future weeks here. But as well, I think Penny's likely going to get featured in the month of May, just given her kit and her utility. Usually they put the best character in terms of the unlock as part of a monthly, so it's something to be mindful of there. Thankfully, if you guys already have value built in both Noir and Spider-Gwen, well, you're going to be getting dividends from that, just because you don't need to invest them in further, and they're going to be needed for obviously the skill rate section of the Incursion 2, which is proven to be one of the highest difficulties right now because Invaders does not get the job done. Now, guys, let's pivot over to some of the new teams that are coming into the game that we have to look forward to. And this is, again, all confirmed now through fan voting and so forth. So we can kind of speculate what's going to be happening, but at the end of the day, we still need to wait for the official announcements of the remaining members of the team. So what am I referring to? Well, if you guys recall, on the left here, Panda Pool was officially the winner of the of this Deadpool kind of mixture vote, right? So Panda Pool is confirmed. They've also released and officially confirmed Deadpool is going to get reworked, so you can actually start building up Deadpool if you want in part of this rework. Will we see if other reworks happen to Deathpool and so forth? We may or may not. Nothing's been confirmed yet, only that Deadpool and Panda are going to be part of that team. However, they're going to be part of the new legendary team, which means out of time required for this team. And anyways, rumors and obviously going through the different speculation is that it's hinting at a character such as Hitmonkey could be the newest legendary coming to the game. We don't actually have 100% confirmation, but it's gonna be pretty soon here, because typically the newest legendary does come out in the May of the following year. So we're getting really close here. We're gonna get teasers either in the couple weeks or early April or early May to give us that confirmation, right? And let's not forget about the vote right after that kind of, you know, gave us a lot of kind of controversy in terms of the fan voting, because out of these three characters here with Guardian, Vindicator, and Sasquatch, only 2 out of the 3 were allowed to be voted in for the team. So the winners ended up being Guardian and Sasquatch. Sasquatch by a landslide because he's a huge fan favorite, but remains to be seen who the other 2 or 3 members of the Alpha Flight team is going to be. But they look fun. They're the Canadian version of the Avengers, so always great to get this different infusion, learn about different heroes and characters too. And I didn't even know that Canada had this Avengers kind of similar team, so it's gonna be awesome to see their infusion into the game. We haven't got much verbiage besides the teaser that they officially had on the Strike Force Twitter and as well as the blog post, but other than that, it's gonna be exciting once they get added and we can see what kind of team they're gonna be. They seem to be war oriented, just because all of them have different traits. They're not gonna be a raid team or so forth there, so just something to be on the watch for. But it's gonna be exciting to hear who the other remaining members are gonna be. What else is upcoming? Well, Karen Page won by a landslide for the vampire team. So could this be signaling a new character like Blade as well? Because I mean, it makes sense. We have characters like Morbius. We got Elsa. We got now Karen is confirmed to be turning into a vampire. They also said that they're going to be releasing her kit, so that way we can also fan vote and formulate that as well. So that's something to be mindful of. I feel like the timing of this is likely going to be closer to perhaps Halloween, when the new Undying character is going to get released as well and added to Hela and Iron Man, and as well as Zombie Juggernaut. So it's something to be mindful of. We haven't got much verbiage from there, but typically with any of these fan votings, we see news about 3-4 months later. If I'm going by what happened with Void Knight, his voting happening in September, and then Hive Mind was released in December, January. So just something to be mindful of there. Blade could be hinted. He could be finally added. I mean, Black Knight and Blade were always going to be those two characters we speculated on, and Black Knight's already been added. So it would be really, really cool to see that infusion. But remember, Karen Page is going to be a vampire. And that leads us now to current day. What's going on right now, which is Man-Thing versus Werewolf by Night. So currently, at the time of recording, Man-Thing was just winning by a few percentage points. But yeah, this is the closest voting we've ever seen. You know what would have been funny is Werewolf by Night could have been potentially related to the vampires and Karen Page. But I don't think that's the case anymore, because there would be no relationship with Man-Thing if he won. So this probably is going to be a different team, a separate team. But it will be interesting to see if they're going to be part of like a 3-piece team or maybe another full team. But Man-Thing's not really part of any team, so that's why it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I love the fact that they're kind of switching things up and giving us a lot of autonomy to choose. But it's a darn shame they made us pick between two heavy favorite characters. So hopefully in the future they revise this, or maybe they should stay away from 50-50 votes, because the other votes before at least had a few characters, so then you can at least kind of divvy up the votes. But in this case, when it's 50-50, man, it's down to the wire to see which characters and teams are coming, right? So guys, that's it for the new and upcoming teams that we have confirmed 100%. The last thing I did not touch on here, however, is the Age of X, right? We have confirmation that obviously with Xavier being part of Dark Dimension 8 now for 2025 and so forth, there's going to be a lot of reworks coming to mutants probably. We've already kind of seen that with Extreme being added, Gambit getting reworked, and then we also seen the recent reworks happening to those 5 characters in Phoenix and Jubilee being those outdated legendary characters. Mind you, we're probably going to need to wait for more information on how Siege Battle World is going to be in addition to the Danger Room. But just heads up, there's going to be more mutant rework, so mutant is going to be a very, very important gear piece that we want to consider, especially since Apocalypse also needs mutant gear. So it's just something to be mindful of. But yeah, exciting times for sure. I love the fact that for once I don't think we've ever seen it in the game before. It's like getting such a big sneak peek of all the different confirmed teams, because fan voting has played a big part in determining that. So exciting times ahead. Hopefully they can revisit some of these old votes that have already finished. Like, I really would have loved to see a symbiote Kestro or a symbiote Thanos, but it is what it is. We'll see if they revisit that in the future. Thank you for your time as always. Let me know anything in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.